Taylor Schabusiness is back in court to face sentencing after she attacked a prison guard.
Now remember, Schabusiness is already serving a life sentence for the murder of her boyfriend. She pleaded no contest to a reduced charge of disorderly conduct just days ahead of her trial.
She had been charged with battery after an incident behind bars when prosecutors say Schabusiness hit a prison guard in the head with a tray and swung a metal table at her.
And they just played that video, and it does look like that's exactly what happened. Let's go into court now, where her attorney is making their final statements ahead of the judge's sentence.
In Green Bay. Then she went to live with her grandparents and went to high school at Catula High School in Texas from January of 2015 to June of 2016, and she graduated. She excelled in science. She liked economics. She liked physical education, social studies. She's had different jobs in the past, notably Saputo Cheese from 2017 to 2020. I know that she told me that she was certified as a forklift driver, and she worked in the sanitation department for some different companies. Obviously, at this time, she's serving out a life sentence at Tachita Correctional Institution. Now that she's off of drugs, I think that she's able to think a lot more clearly. I think she's sober, and I think she's able to maybe possibly participate in some programming. I think she's a dual diagnosis person, Your Honor. I think she's got some severe mental health issues, and she's got some severe AODA issues or drug addiction issues, and she could benefit from some treatment. I believe that she's been in custody since February 22nd of 2022. She's had a lot of time here to be sober, be drug-free, be free from the grips of meth. I know that she's got a lot of family in Texas and Ohio that care about her. And I think my client does want to become a better person. Certainly, whatever happened here at the correctional facility was difficult, was inappropriate on her part, but July 24th, 2024, she asked for access to care because of a staple in her arm. I don't know how that happened, how that got there. And then a nurse came in, and she was told that she had to get up on the table in the medical room. And then at some point, the tray was grabbed. My client was then pushed to the floor. She told me that she had OC spray in her face. But regardless of what happened here, I think my client realizes that she could have avoided this, and she should have handled things a lot more differently. But this lady's she's been through a lot in her life. I know that she struggles with the loss of her mom, Marla, who passed away in 2009. And she had a brother, Arturo J. Coronado, AJ. He died in a motorcycle accident, I think in July of 2022. So, and I looked at all kinds of other records from the prior case and from this case. I think my client does have some depression issues, some other mental health issues that, she needs a professional to help her work through. I think she needs some treatment. I think she's got maybe some PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't think she's a throwaway. I think she's someone who needs some attention. And I know that I think counseling can help her overcome some of the maybe anger issues and other issues that she has going on in her life. But I think she did get scared. I think she was afraid when the nurse started to take that staple out of her arm. And I think my client knows that she should not have done what she did. But, when a staple or stitches or anything is removed from your arm, it could cause pain, and it may have been a reaction to pain, not really sure. But the resolution here has been a disorderly conduct misdemeanor offense. I'd ask for you to consider 10 days jail, concurrent to any other sentence, and pay court costs. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Schabusiness, you have a right to address the court. It's called your right of allocution. Is there anything you want to tell the court before you pronounce sentence?
I didn't mean to go off on that bitch like that at all. And I'm sorry for that, how it came off like that. It didn't mean to happen that way. And it shouldn't have. and I should get 10 days at least on the bracelet or something like that.
All right. The court is supposed to consider three things at sentencing: the seriousness of the offense, the need to protect the public, and your character, what kind of treatment needs that you may have. As far as the seriousness of the offense goes, it's assaultive behavior in a confined setting, in a prison setting. It's serious for that. It was amended down to disorderly conduct. I think that amendment probably adequately addresses the facts of the case and takes into consideration your agreement to enter a plea to that count. But again, it's serious because the incident happens in what should be a secure setting. Not only is it a place that people are being housed, taken from society, but there's COs that work there, there's medical staff that works there, there's social workers that work there, and they should be protected as well. The need to protect the public, Ms. Schabusiness, due to your current situation, the public at whole maybe doesn't need to be protected from you. But as I said, the other inmates and the workers at Tachita, they should be protected from you. And so this kind of behavior is inappropriate.
All right, looks like that was the end of that there. I think ultimately the judge sentenced her to the 90 days to run consecutive to the life sentence, which again doesn't have much meaning, but I think he was sending a message.
I agree. Was sending a message because you don't want prisoners to think they can get away with this.
Absolutely right. Let's bring in our guest joining us this hour, criminal defense attorney Josh Schiffer. Josh, great to see you as always. I'm not going to say that you have a lot of experience with this because this is the type of thing that really is sort of in that 1%, but you do come across clients who just have some issues. And I think it's safe to say that Schabusiness has some issues. What do you make of what happened in court today?
You know, this is almost administrative, really, because it involves how we're going to run our prisons. And that's really important because part of ensuring the safety of all other inmates, which is mandatory from the prison staff, is this discipline process. And obviously here we had someone acting out against a member of the staff in not just a prison setting, but a medical setting where there's pain and treatment and fear and confidentiality involved. Then you've got loaded on top of that what Ms. Schabusiness's lawyer was talking about, the dual diagnosis issue, PTSD, and how someone suffering from those kind of impairments is going to react in frightening situations. What the judge was just talking about is the mitigation from the initial charge down to the disorderly conduct. And he felt that that was adequate, the changing of that charge to address the mitigation from the treatment levels, and that disorderly conduct was the best resolution for the formal charge. And right before we lost that feed, I'll confirm that what Michael said, the 90 days was imposed, and it was imposed consecutive, which is decidedly against what Ms. Schabusiness and her lawyer had asked for. Now, does that really matter with a life case? Well, no, but it does send that message. And it sends that message to other people that regardless of your personal situation, infractions are going to result in some sort of discipline.
Fair enough. And I wonder if the judge reconsidered after he heard her statement. You know what I mean? Because the statement was just so inflammatory.
Yes.
That, this is not someone that we can play around with.
Yes, I agree. But that's what I wanted to ask you about, Josh. I mean, she did apologize. She said, I shouldn't have done that, and I'm sorry for that. But, do you take into account the fact that she at least said, yeah, I shouldn't have handled it that way?
Absolutely, he took that into account, and I don't think that the flavor in her expression really offends the judge. The vernacular, when you get to people who have a long-term incarceration, it just degrades. Really, you're dealing with survival mode most hours of the day, And so that rough language that I know just hurts the ears of delicate people like Michael, really, it's kind of, it's not as offensive. Her use of the R word was particularly interesting, though, because that reflects on her overall treatment. And obviously, that's a really politicized word right now. But this is a hard situation for a judge because he realizes no matter what he does, there's only so many ways to give a stimulus that will cause change. And in this case, the stimulus is this extra time. There's probably some administrative restrictions on her. She clearly has a deregulation issue when it comes to her behavior. That's something the system has to deal with, not just in 2025, but for decades to come.
Right.
Yeah, and one has to wonder, Judge, is she in the right place?
Right.
Right? Is she? Because she doesn't seem like she's getting much better.
Yeah, and like our attorney said, mental health issues, they have to address that, they have to treat that. But again, the judge did say 90 days to be served consecutive to that life sentence that she received for murder.